Princess Maga Minaj. Okay, we got to get this out the way because later today we're going to actually be talking about things that actually matter. But since she is trending for being unhinged, turning into a Jaguar Right 2.0, we have to talk about it. We got to talk about it. This is one of the most unhinged things I've seen to date. And ooh, I feel like we need to have an honest dialogue about Nicki Minaj. And I don't think some of the barbs are ready to do that. And that's fine. You know, you got to let people be in whatever delusion that they're in. But seeing this, I said, now y'all know I have a flight I'm going to be catching soon. But this still today, the most unhinged thing I have seen. So, hey, Couture Bays, it's your girl, Britt Brat, go live with the Retalk and Bay Squad. We have to talk. Now, before we get started, let's like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes solely. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my faith vegan water, and let's get into the mess, shall we? So I want to start off by saying all this happened while I was sleeping. She did this in the midst of the full moon. I want y'all to understand that. She did this in the midst of the full moon. She did this on Grammy night. For someone who is so happy and on the right side, it's given she's bitter, she's miserable, she is triggered because I'm not understanding, right? Nicki Minaj claims she is someone who stands up for the right thing and all that. And I'm gonna show y'all, but honestly and truly, I don't believe that. She doesn't believe that. Because if she believed that, she wouldn't be doing the things that she's doing. I think she is spiraling, and y'all are comfortable with her spiraling because y'all don't care about Nicki. Can we be honest? Y'all don't care about Nicki so much so that she is actively destroying her brand. So let's get into the one thing we did see. Okay. Ooh. May. Let's turn it up. Y'all ready?
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues.
Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it to you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
Jennifer.
Child, so she was pissed about that. Trevor Noah cracks jokes during the Grammys about Nicki Minaj not being in the building. I mean, she's the queen of rap and she wasn't there. She said that, you know, Lauryn Hill is her favorite musician. She wasn't there. Lauryn Hill did a tribute, right? So everybody was like, please, please. You know how the barbs do. So then Nicki Minaj claims immigrants are being flown in to vote, says African Americans can no longer be counted on by default. They're flying immigrants in to vote because they reneged on all the promises they made to African Americans and can no longer get the African American vote by default. They're causing distractions in the streets to distract from the billions they stole from the taxpayers. Are you talking about the man that you said that you would defend? Because my thing is this. Is she mad that Texas flipped? Is she mad that Texas flipped? And this is why I will continue to say, y'all have to go out and vote. I'm not listening to somebody who has no right to vote. Nicki cannot vote in America. She's not a registered voter nowhere. But she's actively talking. She is a token, and I said they're going to use the biggest pawn. I told y'all about the famous jazz musician who was used as a pawn when they were out here when they assassinated that African leader who was talking about reparations. They always use a token. They can't come to us with a Caucasian man or woman because we're not listening to them. Y'all are actively listening to a woman who cannot vote, not registered to vote or nothing, right? So the people in the comments are like, she's definitely been using that gold card to cut that. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, I'm taking my chance here, but she might be saying something. The way she say immigrants in third person is crazy because she's an immigrant. She's an immigrant. So then she continues. Nicki Minaj targets Chrissy Teigen in new post, makes unverified claim about her gender. Everyone know Chrissy Teigen has slash had a allegedly. So she's saying Chrissy Teigen is a man. Do I care about Chrissy Teigen? No, but but we've seen Chrissy Teigen have babies. She had a miscarriage. All these things. So I'm just like, child, and we're supposed to think she's not unhinged. Let's continue. She also went on to say that she took a dig at Lizzo. Fat Lizzo lost 300 pounds just to sell 300 albums. So now she has loose skin and a flop album and a weird charge. Baby, she wasn't charged. She beat the
So I'm
case.
getting texts like about Nicki, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know. Then, I researched and saw what was going on, and I'm gonna say it like this: celebrities' opinions of other celebrities does not matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. So my opinion of her does not matter. But what I will tell you is you're about to see an influx of people who see that it is more profitable and more beneficial to join that side. You're going to see it. It already started, and it's going to continue. This is his first year. This is Trump's first year as president. We got 3 more years of people who are going to surprise you. And it's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to disappoint you. And you have to know that, like, there's money behind. So I'm getting texts like about
So what did she say that was wrong? Because we saw 50 Cent come out, we saw Michael Blackson come out, we saw Sexy Red come out. You were there, all in support of Donald Trump. I'm waiting for the rest of the tokens to come out. I'm ready for the rest of the tokens. And let's be very clear, she's not dropping that album, not because she wanted to, she can't. She can't drop that album even if she wanted to. Do you understand the amounts and the lengths that she went to discredit people, lie on people, because she's lying. Y'all call it misinformation. I call it lying. She's lying on people. She is the new Jaguar, right? It says, Nicki not playing with nobody no more. Anybody can catch it. Somebody said, I hope Papa Bear is doing well. Nixie is so fixated on album sales, it's crazy. Like, it's so weird. So y'all see that? I read the good comments. Let's continue. Let's continue into y'all faith, saying the things that she said. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Of course you are. She said, are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a form of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat, again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times since I was trying to not say what I know, yet they continue to attempt to bully. Let's continue. Continue to bullying. Who's bullying you, Nicki? How are you being bullied? Please. She has yet to tell us how she's being bullied in the new millennia. Okay. Also, I won't be releasing the album until my contract is renegotiated and until I tell you about all the sabotage this Rico is finding out about Billboard. Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. Did she posted this? It's mighty strange she's saying this about Aaliyah. Aaliyah 15, Jay-Z 26, when we know Aaliyah in this picture is 21. We know Aaliyah in this picture is 21. And then this is a crop photo. He was standing next to Latavia in the photo. So, okay. And so somebody said, yeah, she's heavy on a bag of drugs. Somebody said, girl, multiple things can be true, but is she really talking about them and not about him, her favorite president? Aaliyah was not 15 in this photo. She was 21. Start with your brother, your husband, and your president, Onika. That's what they're saying in the comments. Let's continue. Trevor refuses to come out the closet when everyone in the industry knows his boyfriend, allegedly. Here she goes being homophobic again, but y'all don't care. Y'all think she cares about you? It's crazy. So Nicki Minaj goes on to say, they sabotaged my documentary because I spoke about abuse that I suffered. They've been trying to stall all my projects in hopes I lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. Their leaders still think it's a joke. The destruction that's about to come down on them isn't funny. I told y'all, leave me alone. Now you'll understand why you should have just sat there and taken your meds. If you go back to a video I did a few months ago, I think it was a few weeks ago, I said she was going to use her platform to drag all of her enemies. You already see the enemies are in there, but the girls didn't read the files. If the girls would have read the files, they would have known that it was a of Pedialytes at the bus stop preying on children. But we got that too. Don't worry. But this is Nicki Minaj. Imagine if you're a 30-year-old rapper was out here with a 16-year-old in this day and age, and how y'all would have his head on a platter. You said nothing when Tyga was with Kylie. You was over there. You was over there. You supported it. 15-year-old Kylie, we didn't forget. When Black China was crying about it, you didn't call out Tyga. You went on to do further projects. You also worked with Tekashi 6ix9ine, who also has that weird predator case. Okay, yeah, because you care about victims. Yeah. The guy was hugging and humping on teens in broad daylight. Next, I'll get on the owner of the Shade Room and more. The comments is dragging her. They're saying the call is literally coming from the house. Somebody said, Nicki never wrong, just early. Y'all done woke up Roman. Generally speaking, is she okay? Because what the hell? She's not okay, but y'all love this. Y'all love this because she has not provided us a receipt yet. Where is the receipt? Where is the receipts? Where is the receipts? Mind you, this is a woman who got mad and sued a black woman. Nosy Ho, did y'all forget? She sued Nosy Ho off of lying on her. And in reality, there was some truths in that. Looking at it now, there was some truths into it. So let's get into, because, you know, she was over there, I will defend Donald Trump. Yeah, she was over there doing that. Let's get into it. I love when the girls tell on themselves. Hold on. Hold up. Because this is who y'all love. This is who y'all are defending. This is who your boy is tied to.
17 in Florida. So, as far as I'm aware, a professional masseuse showed up for a massage. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that. And your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate.
How many teenagers did he have that were professional masseuses that worked in his home?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
How many?
First of all, I'm not aware of teenagers who worked in his home.
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for purposes of sexual massages?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
Okay, I'll begin, please.
Sure. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for sexual massages?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
Can you ask it a different way?
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages?
Check the Foreman Foundation.
If you know.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, no. That's who your homeboy used to hang out with. Don't worry. Don't worry, because did Nicki say, I love when the girls get up and defend people. They have no idea who they defended. But when it comes to y'all with their moral standing and principles, when have you cared about predators? But don't worry. Don't worry, because I love when the girls dig themselves into graves that they dig for others.
I think that Ghislaine Maxwell is actively blackmailing Donald Trump. She filed a habeas petition this week to try to get released from the now minimum security federal work camp that Donald Trump and Todd Blanche transferred her to after Todd Blanche did 2 days of interviews with her, a federal work camp where she now gets to have a puppy. But I think that Ghislaine Maxwell is actively blackmailing Donald Trump right now. She filed a petition to get released, and in that petition, for whatever reason, it has no relevance to her case. She disclosed that there were 29 additional men who had reached secret settlements, either with victims or with the DOJ, including 4 men who were active co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein's. She didn't identify those men by name in her habeas petition, but she said that they're out there. And she put in a court pleading that she knows details. She knows who they are. She knows what they did. She knows about the agreements they reached. I think that this week, Ghislaine Maxwell just dramatically turned up the heat on Donald Trump, and that she is actively blackmailing him to get out of prison.
And y'all think it's going to be hard for us to figure out who it is in this economy with this good old internet that they don't want y'all to be on? But we're supposed to listen to Nicki Minaj, the Nicki Minaj? Don't worry, because she was over there with the people.
Gerald Ford is not a pedophile per se. He's what I refer to as trisexual. He'll try anything. Any age, anybody, anytime, anywhere, just as long as he had control. Because he had a perversion of power, in addition to his interest in mind control. Therefore, it was Gerald Ford who came out to our house and explained to my father how to raise me in the project according to government specifications. My father had been caught sending this child pornography through the U.S. mails, and therefore he was approached and told that if he sold me into that project, that he would gain immunity from prosecution. My father remains free from prosecution to date for so-called reasons of national security. Once my father agreed to sell me into the project, I was taken routinely to Mackinac Island, Michigan, which is a political retreat where the Michigan governor's mansion is located. It was a bohemian grove of sorts where politicians met and discussed New World Order controls, where they discussed mind control of the masses, mind control in the school systems, how to use occultism as a trauma base. One of my sexual abusers at that time was the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau is a professed Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits are an intelligence arm of the Catholic Vatican. Pierre Trudeau represented this criminal faction of the Catholic Church, of the Jesuits, who believed in mind control of the masses because they wanted to be the one world church in the New World Order.
And isn't that somebody who is very friendly with Donald Trump? That is Kathy O'Brien. Read her book and watch her videos. She's telling the truth. But don't worry, because y'all don't believe nothing. But don't worry, we got more. This is my favorite one. While she's out here talking about a Jay-Z because you're so bitter, you're so just tainted with anger. I tell y'all, when people feel like they don't have any type of relevance or some type of something, they start lashing out on people who refuse to help them. I told y'all, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, that same bloodline, friends with Donald Trump. I told y'all that when Nicki first got with this man and she was going to marry him, she asked them for help and they told her no. They told her no. They would not help her. They would not put their reputation on the line for Kenneth Petty, and she got pissed because she's like, y'all work with all these other predators. You see, those type of people you got to watch. And to anybody who feels the type of way, if you feel strongly about what I'm saying, send your niece, your nephew, because they don't care, men or women. Send your niece and nephew over to Nicki Minaj's house. Send your nieces and nephew, hell, send yourself over there to the Trump administration. Send them over there because, baby, y'all don't believe nothing. Y'all don't believe nothing. Hold on. This is my favorite one.
Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk, Don Jr. Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump were there. Attorney Alan Dershowitz was also there with attorney Bob Shapiro. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald J. Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald J. Trump raped me.
And you talking? But don't worry, sister. Don't worry. Ain't this your man? Hold on. You saying that Aaliyah was underage. Hold on. The girls hate facts.
Jay-Z and I are very good friends, and we've hung out a lot, and that happens in the business a lot. If you have friends in the industry and people see you together, they assume that, you know, you're dating or you're with that person. Then that's not the case with Jay and I. Now, as far as my personal life is concerned, I don't really discuss it.
And she was talking about her not discussing what she went through with R. Kelly.
I had the pleasure of meeting Jay-Z at Lil Kim's video Crush on You. He came with Biggie, and he's a very cool, laid-back guy, just like his video. So props to you, Jay-Z. And up next, we've got someone who has collaborated with Jay-Z. It is a Rough Rider from Yonkers. I think you guys know who I'm talking about, so stay tuned. It's my favorite videos.
Why y'all out here lying? But don't worry, because Nicki Minaj, isn't this you? This is your brother, right? They don't want to know. They told me they'd make a case go away for $20 million. She has not shown us the proof of that. They checked his home and found nothing. They found out who he was and then came back and said they found something. To God be to glory. What is done in the dark. That's why she and they are now cursed. Mind you, his DNA was found in her underwear. Your brother's DNA was found in his stepdaughter's underwear. So they planted that. They planted his semen in her underwear. Because that's what they found. You always have a story and an excuse for every little thing in your life. Everyone is out to get you. You are not that important to fake DNA or to Unalive Juice WRLD to sabotage your tour. Let's continue. Because she hasn't showed us proof of nothing. Have y'all seen the proof of them asking for the money? I'm just asking. Because those people are not in positions of power. Last time I checked. So it says right here, King Vicious, this man who's hanging out with your husband said that your husband Me Too'd his little sister. It says, okay, I'm getting blackballed because of this PUSSY, Me Too'er, #Zoo, #Kenneth Petty. Yeah, he used to be my best friend until I found out he Me Too a woman. This is your man. This is your man. Because you were underage, right? When he got with you. He was in his 20s when you were, what, 14? And he beat up your boyfriend? Ain't that what you said?
The only reason, look, you had to fucking get out my crib. Why? Because you fucked my little sister. My stepsister, not my real sister, my little sister. Which people don't be like, oh, da-da-da, Yeah, she was 12, bro. Like, you older than me. I got her by 4 years. What kind of shit you on, black? The only reason, look, you had to fucking
that's you. That's you. But while you out here talking about everybody is the problem, everybody is the issue. Oh, they try to sabotage me. Now, they probably stopped or asked you to stop when it comes to that documentary. And you could have easily said no and went about your business. But I thought you didn't own all the rights to your documentary. Doesn't your former manager own some of the rights? Didn't you sign that over? See, not only are you bad at business, Nicki, I wish you would just tell the truth. You're horrible at business. You signed trash contracts. You're upset that Lil Wayne sold your masters. You got to come out after Lil Wayne. That's probably next. Because ain't no telling with you. And it's always someone else. It's always someone else when it comes to you marrying a Kenneth Petty. It's always someone else when it comes to you being bad at business. It's always someone else. I'm starting to believe Safari when he said, we used to fight because you lied and said I was the cheater when you been fucking around. He said that about you. He said that about you. We can't even find that Breakfast Club interview anymore. But he said that about you. And I'm starting to believe it. I'm starting to believe everything Meek Mill said about you. Because Meek Mill was like, you used to creep with me and now you got this man you've been fucking around. And I definitely believe that. I'm starting to believe you are a victim of abuse. of sexual abuse and mental abuse. And I get it. That's probably why you don't have a great relationship with your mother, because your mother didn't protect you when it was time. And that's why you were so, oh, my brother didn't do it, because you're a victim. You're a victim. It's okay. A lot of black girls are victims to the predators in their life, but you don't have to go and marry one. Free yourselves from the shackles. Free yourself from the shackles. It must be tiring having to pay your way and your man's way too. And you got to reach down in your purse because you married a brokey, a dusty. You could have been with anybody and you chose this man. You actively made the choice. In the first time in your life, you actively made the choice to be with dusty men. You did that. I understand. You actively chose to be with Safari and stretch that out as long as you could, as long as he was writing for you, right? You ain't been right since. Let's really wake it up. Do I believe he wrote everything for you? No, but I think he helped you a lot because your sound is different. From the first album and the second album, the sound is completely different. After that, it is what it is. It must be sad. It must be sad, right? You chose man after man who want to knock you between the washer and dryer. I get it. I understand. But you got to go heal. You have a son to look after. You have a son to look after. I get it. For the first time in your life, you had a choice. You chose Safari. His mama didn't like you. They called you lazy. They called you all these things. You're not telling us the whole story. Why were they calling you lazy? Was it because he was over there writing? You know, you're still not friends. You know, why all these people decided to leave you and then all of a sudden they came back? What is that about? Then you go and choose Meek Mill, a man who is also a felon, who knocked you between the washer and dryer. He spit on you, so I understand. You know, life is repeating itself. History keeps repeating itself. You keep ending up with these losers. I get it. And then you have to pay their way because you made way more money than Meek Mill. I understand that. You're a victim. So in your first time in your life, you choose it, and you're choosing the most degenerate and dumbest men ever. Got it. Cool. Right? You finally sitting up there wanting to be like, hey, Jay-Z, I'm doing my documentary. And they're like, no, because we got prison reform. You should have went against them and released it anyway. Who cares about a prison reform? But the problem is, that didn't satisfy you. You wanted to be a Rock Nation girly. And they chose Megan. They chose Megan. They chose Megan. They chose Megan over you, and that really pissed you off. Because in that rant you did, when you dropped his, you said Megan tried to fuck your husband. I remember because we talked about that here. That video is still up. You said, and you got that video deleted while you want to air out the tea. You said Megan tried to fuck your husband, which leads me to believe that white lady who you said was not your assistant, which I believe was your assistant, was telling the truth about the Bia situation. Yeah. Yeah, while y'all are out here saying, oh, she needs protection, so she gets with the Kenneth Petty and she still needs protection, so now she needs the white man's protection. Men who are tied to the most egregious things, harming other white men and women. And y'all want to believe that it can't be. I feel Jay-Z is guilty of a lot of things, right? But when it comes to this Epstein stuff, no. Because that was a ring of well-to-do white men from all over the global world. Well-to-do white men. Why would they choose some American blacks to be a part of it when they had people from different enterprises? They had princes, dukes, kings. People who are in a position of power. And I keep telling y'all this because y'all don't want to think, y'all don't want to see it because y'all are so ingrained with Nicki Minaj being a I'm a motherfucking monster, and all these hot lyrics she did and was able to deliver at a time where we were thirsty for women in hip hop to be on the scene because all we had was a bunch of men. I get it. But what power did Jay-Z have in 2007? So you mean to tell me he was a billionaire back then? Because this was the Billionaire Boys Club. This was the Billionaire Boys Club. This wasn't no up and coming. This is the Billionaire Boys Club. They literally said in there they didn't want the hard ERs. The one black woman who was there was racially ambiguous. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. If we're going to do the math, cool. But don't act like you care about victims when you have a trail of victims yourself. Your husband has a trail of victims. You don't give a damn about victims. You was just holding that man's hands. Let me find the Coffee City video. Shout out to Coffee City. You was just holding that man's hands. Talking about you will defend his honor. How are you? Cool? Are you okay? But everybody's out to get you. Hold on. We love a good commercial. Shout out to Coffee City. I love Coffee City. Y'all know Coffee City and I are well to do. Thumbs up.
City. Oh my goodness, Trevor Noah has the internet going crazy.
Look at her hugging
Minaj
with people.
is spiraling. Okay, so I said this before. I even said on my previous video that Nicki Minaj
Look at her.
acts like she's unbothered, but she's very much bothered. Okay, we saw it before with the whole Trump situation when people posted the change.org to get Nicki Minaj deported. That really got to her because she rushed and started posting Trump gold card like it was a flex. The White House came out and they said that it was nothing. It meant nothing. And Nicki Minaj ended up looking crazy. So that whole situation backfired on her. Then there was this situation where people kept saying that her husband wasn't welcome around certain politicians because he's a convicted felon. And when that rumor was going around, Nicki Minaj went ahead. She went to the wedding of Donald Trump's advisor and she started posting videos and photos of her and her husband trying to prove a point that he's allowed to be in these spaces with her. So yeah, Nicki Minaj is definitely bothered by what the people are saying. And this right here just proves it again. So Trevor Noah hosted the Grammys. The same Grammys that Nicki Minaj has openly said she wanted and still wants. Okay, during the show, he made a joke about her, and I'm telling you, the entire crowd went crazy. They went wild. Check this out.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump.
Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass.
So yeah, you hear how loud they were? That moment mattered because it wasn't just one person laughing. It was an entire room of industry people cheering while Nicki Minaj was being mocked. And this just proves how badly Nicki Minaj has tarnished her legacy. Okay, but of course it hit a nerve because shortly after that, Nicki Minaj went on Twitter and she started going off. Okay, she went off.
She did.
She kept
And y'all think she's about to release a album? Child, please. Please. There's a reason why Ariana Grande separated herself. When Ariana Grande came and defended Nicki Minaj's honor, how did Nicki repay her? By leaving her in the dust. By leaving her in the dust. Ariana Grande dropped 2 solid projects since then. And the Grammys has been showing her, you want to play stupid games, you're going to win a super prize. And y'all think it's a coinky dink? Everybody has to play their part. But you still want to be a part of an industry that you claim is full of predators. You're out here siding with the whole predator. You was holding his hand. You was standing beside him. You went to the wedding of a predator. Ooh, where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Run the check up, and run the check up. Thank you, Cash. Thank you so much. Look, this is the saddest thing I have ever seen as somebody who literally during the hate train actively worked to lift Nicki up. This is crazy. Honestly, and this is why I say the things that I say. You have to let people meet their consequences. And every time you stand in the way of them not receiving their consequences for the actions that they have put in place in front of the scenes and behind the scenes, it stalls their evolution and their progression. This is why Nicki is acting the way that she is. I take full ownership of the part I played during the hate train. I definitely do. I take full ownership in the things that I have done, right? I've always kept it about the music. I've always kept it about the content, but I am part of the reason why Nicki has not learned her lesson and she is acting the way that she is. Mind you, this is a 42-year-old woman. This is a 42-year-old woman. She's upset because people said she's getting on her knees for Donald Trump and they're doing God knows what over there. Do you really believe this administration is giving anything away for the free ski? Nicki is not a collegiate graduate and she is a non-US citizen. Either she's paying cash or she's paying in that ass. That's just how this administration rolls. You know how we know that? Because we've seen the documents. We've seen other things. Look at the people who have been tied to this administration. Do you think they're of good moral power and standing? There's nothing like political power. There's nothing like it. But imagine Nicki coming to the internet once Texas did their part. In New Jersey, you're up next. New Jersey, you're up next. That's why I say I use my voice to talk about politics. While everybody else be like, oh, I'm obtuse to the politics. I don't know. Everything is political. New Jersey, y'all are up next. Y'all have a special runoff election, I think this Friday, 5 February. Yeah, 5 February. I think that's this Friday. Don't be fooled. She is the Louis Armstrong of our generation. She had nothing to say when them Trinidadian men were unalived and called drug dealers. She had nothing to say. Nothing. Didn't even bat an eye. Ain't that your home country? Anybody who can't go back to their country and frolic and do the things that they want to do, I always look at them with the side eye. What do you mean you can't go to your home country? We see Drake go back to Canada. We see Rihanna go back to Barbados. We have seen the Afro beats and Afro stars go back to their home country, but Nicki has yet to go back to Trinidad. I wonder why. She doesn't speak about the injustices of her country because remember, Venezuela cut Trinidad off. Did she say anything about her good people? She sent resources to Jamaica. She's not Jamaican. Jamaica wasn't the only one who was hit by the hurricane. It's hard for me to listen to people who won't even stand up to the predators in their life, but they want to call somebody a predator. Divorce that man. Divorce that man you had your son with. You couldn't wait to get pregnant by, that you did IVF for. She still hasn't sued Cardi. Have y'all noticed that? Nothing came to Cardi, but she was so quick to sue Nosy Ho. You can say what you want about Nosy Ho, but Cardi B said the exact same thing as Nosy Ho, and Nicki didn't sue. So if it's not anti-blackness, then what is it? She's not anti the blogs because she is Team Tasha K. And she's only Team the blogs when they're not being sued, because we seen she left Milagro out to dry. And we know where Milagro got that information from. Her birth father is alive. The man that Cardi said allegedly is a predator towards her. And that's probably why she has an issue with Ming Lee or whatever that sister's name is. Because he wasn't a father to her and her brother, but he was a father to Ming and them. Get into that. Why isn't her mother around? Is it because she's a predator protector too? That mama ain't seen the sun yet. We ain't seen a picture with Papa Bear and her mama to date. Thank you. So if we're calling out predators and we want the predators to go to prison, why are you attacking Lizzo? Lizzo won her case. Lizzo won her case. Your husband is still actively in litigation with Jennifer. But again, she's over there being a predator defender. Interesting that you brought that up. Now you think about it, I have never seen one picture with Papa Bear and his grandmother. And we're not going to see it. And we're not going to see it. You can tell there's tension. I always talk about it like this. Sometimes you relive certain things. Like, remember Monique, the comedian? Monique said it wasn't until her brother was holding her twins that she cut them off. She was like, nah, nah. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I just think it's strange and weird that we haven't seen Onika's mama. We see her any other time talking about good Christian albums and stuff like that. And she over there with Drake Daddy and stuff. But we don't see her at the house. We see the hair braider. We don't see no one else. When she was on tour, she couldn't bring her mama. What was her mama doing? I'm just telling y'all, it's starting to look like the rumors is true. It's starting to look like the rumors are true. And until she sues Cardi B for her saying that your mama allowed the predators to do that things to you, I will never have respect for you, because you sued that black woman with the quickness. And Cardi came for your child. She said your child's favorite number was like 5 or something, which I didn't know what that meant. Y'all told me here. I didn't know that was a bad thing. I was like, what does that mean? I ain't never heard of that. What? That tells you I'm a pure soul. I don't do the hate. So, yeah. That being said, what are your thoughts? I would love for Nicki to just come out and tell us. You're already on the right side. So she should be allowed to tell us what they did to her and show us the receipts. You got the president behind you. And the fact that she doesn't and hasn't, and it's been years now. It's been years. It tells me everything I need to know. And I'm not saying Jay-Z and Beyonce are innocent. But when it comes to this, girl, where's your receipts? You were so quick to sue somebody when they had no receipt. Did sue Cardi though. Weird. Strange. It's just giving you're an unhinged, bitter woman who's ruining your legacy. Nobody is focused on the music. They're not even streaming your songs. I can see if this was leading to more sales. It's leading to nothing. But what do I know? What do I know? It shows you're very misogynistic, anti-black, and you them old hoes I be talking about. You. But what are your thoughts, Bay Squad? Now she's not coming out with this album until she negotiate her contract. This is the first we're hearing about that. Child, she's a liar. She was never coming out with that album. I told y'all that when she said that. She just wanted to take the shine away from Cardi B. Because how come she didn't tell us about the renegotiation back then? She's the one who came to us with the I'm dropping the album. Nobody asked her for that. Now she feels away because she knows Cardi is going to do amazing on this tour. I've already seen things where the girls are showing their outfit inspirations. And, you know, I'm going to be back just in time to see a little something of the tour. I might go. I was definitely going to go see Bruno. Bruno toured up at the Grammys. But I'm definitely interested in the 1-2-1-2. You know, I love me a good concert. I might as well go see the rest of the anti-black girls and the colorist girls and the defenders. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all not gonna do nothing about it. Y'all not gonna do anything about it. She's next to the president who said he didn't even read the files. We know you didn't read it. You're in them, but we see that. And content creators, it's time to get more stealthy. Mid-February, just play with the other people are saying and get more stealthy, because give your purest, truest thoughts behind the veil, because y'all. I told y'all she was going to use her association with this administration to drag her enemies. She just started with Jay-Z and Beyonce. She's about to start with some other people. Just watch. Cardi is supposed to start touring, when is it? Next week or something like that? It's coming. Because she is a woman who has vitriol in her heart. Couture, I went to get tickets to see Bruno, and Ray tickets sold out. Oh! I'm hoping, you know what? I believe I'm going to get a ticket. Okay? Fingers crossed. I believe I'm going to get a ticket. I'm going to just put that out there. I'm getting these tickets because I deserve it. I've been in the feds for a really long time. So I'm really excited. Do you think she's going to have to have Ice at Cardi's concerts? Of course. Of course. Especially after Cardi did that Bodega Baddie. Yes. Charlamagne the God and Candace Owens is next. Watch what I tell you. Oh, she's definitely coming for them. She's definitely. Mark my words. She's already. Cardi is American, but she has a lot of Latino, Latinx, Hispanic listeners. She's coming for Cardi, Megan Thee Stallion. She's already came for the Carters. Then she's going to come for Joe Budden. Charlamagne is first. You already see she came for Trevor Noah, Chrissy Teigen. What did Chrissy Teigen do to Nicki Minaj? She got beef with John Legend or something? The reason she's probably not coming for John Legend is because he's a full black man. Pay attention to who she's coming for. Don't that fit the profile or something? Y'all notice the pattern? Chrissy Teigen has Asian roots. She's anti-Trump. We know that. Trevor Noah, South African man. So yeah. She was watching them Grammys. She's jealous. For someone who doesn't care, she sure do be tuned in. But y'all, I gotta go. We could discuss later. Comment down below. Bye, hoes.